Let me let you in on a little secret. We've all been there, whether you're DMing on the biggest stage or you're just starting in the hobby. Finding a D&D game that fits with you can be difficult. But as someone who's been through it myself, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So I got a handful of options that I have tried, and I am confident that we're going to find you a game that works for you. So let's get into it. So a few questions that I think are important to think about when you're thinking about what options to start pursuing to find a D&D game. First, would you want to play online or in person? Second, do you want to try your hand at DMing, or do you think being a player first is a little bit more your speed? Third, would you feel most comfortable playing with a group of people that you already know, or would you feel comfortable playing with strangers? And fourth, what do you think your timetable is? Some of these options could be quick as tonight, while others might take a little bit more time. I hope you got these 4 questions marinating, cooking in your brain while we jump in to talking a little bit more about your options. In no particular order, let's start with number 1, and that is pay-to-play online tabletop role-playing game websites. These are things like startplaying.games or Roll20. There are a whole host of different sites that offer that virtual tabletop experience. If you're not familiar, these sites are basically matchmaking tools to match you with the games you're most interested in playing. The fantastic thing about these websites are you can filter, scroll, finding the times that work for you, the games that seem most interesting, the DMs that seem like might fit your playstyle, campaign styles, virtual tabletops, all these other things that you might want an online experience playing D&D. You got them on this. And so you can really find exactly what might fit for you. And I guarantee you, whenever you're watching this video, you could go onto one of these websites and probably find a game that you could play probably in the next 30 minutes. I don't know, an hour. Maybe you're watching this at 3 in the morning. I don't know your life. So, quick summary on pay-to-play online D&D sites. A pro, you can play today. These sites also boast professional DMs to run your game, which means they know the rules, they know the modules, and they're gonna give you a great experience. And lastly, you're gonna be able to find a game that fits in your schedule. Cons, it is pay-to-play, meaning that you're going to have to fork out money per session. On some of the sites that I've played on, you're looking from anywhere from $10 to maybe $30 per session. Obviously, it can go up from there, but it is a chunk of change, and if you're trying to play regularly, that could be a bit of a hit on your bank account. Another con is you won't always know who you're playing with. That can be a little bit nerve-wracking. All right, so let's jump into the next option for you, and that is Adventurers League. Adventurers League is an official campaign organized by the folks at Dungeons & Dragons. So in quick summary, Adventurers League games often take place at your friendly local game stores. So all you need to do to get started playing Adventurers League is read the short document containing the rules and guidance to create your player character. Second, you choose an official D&D world for your player character to adventure in. And third, you find a group to join. This can be through your friendly local game store. I know that they have a Discord server as well that you could join, or they have these virtual weekend opportunities to play online as well. I'll link all of this in the description below so you have easy access to it. So in summary, Adventurers League is awesome because it's a campaign style, meaning you can grow with your character and you can keep playing. They have opportunities to take your character from level 1 all the way up to level 20. You also will have highly experienced DMs to run your session for you. So another big pro for me is that if you're playing in person, oftentimes your DMs might have a little game map, might have some minis, might give you your own little mini. So if you're somebody like me who doesn't have all of that gear, it's really fun to play in these games. One con for me is that if you're looking for that in-person experience, you likely need to be in a more populous area. Also, these games often can cost a little bit of money, but it's not too much. But still, I think that's something to be aware of. And also, you won't really know who you're playing with until you sit down at the table. So third, let's keep rolling on this in-person train, and that would be checking out nerdy spaces in your community. So whether this be your friendly local game store, conventions, board game cafes, trivia nights at your local bar, that's where you meet people just like you looking to play. Most game stores have schedules online so you can check out when D&D is being played. There's great resources out there to look at conventions that might be coming in your area, whether it be for board games or tabletop role-playing games. These conventions do have opportunities to meet people and play these games while you're there. I'll link a convention schedule in the description that might be helpful for you to see what is coming to your area and when. So in summary, a pro, this is a great way for you to start meeting people in the D&D space in person and potentially play some games in person as well. One con for me is you might need to be living in a large enough area to have these nerdy in-person spots together. Con for me, living with social anxiety, is it seems like it's a lot to put myself out there and go meet people, but I know that for myself, every time that I have done it, I've been rewarded with some of the friendliest and nicest people I've ever met. So I encourage you to try if you're kind of on the fence. This can be a great way to play D&D. So fourth, similar to nerdy spots in person, let's talk about nerdy spots online. I'm talking about your Discords, Facebooks, your Twitters, even your Reddits. I don't know where you guys go, but there's plenty of nerdy spots online to meet people who are into the same things, who would love to play D&D with you. And if you're not part of these communities, what I would suggest is look at the things that you love, the content you love to consume, the people that inspire you creatively. Most of the time, these individuals or these shows will have some place that their community can gather online. So I urge you to join those communities, see what people are talking about. And I guarantee you that if you find the right nerdy community online, you'll find people who want to play. So quickly, in summary for these nerdy spaces online, you're going to be able to develop a relationship with a person before you jump into playing a D&D game with them. Also, you'll likely have a lot in common if you are passionate about some of the same things. Hopefully meaning that you'll get along and your play styles might be similar. One con is it might require a lot more coordination than some of the other options, given that you're going to have to organize it all yourself. It also might take a little bit more time to get to playing as there's more logistics to figure out. And lastly, a con is you're gonna have to decide who is going to DM, which might be a difficult thing if nobody is jumping at that opportunity. Okay, well here is my fifth option, and that is playing D&D with the people that you love. There's so many great things about playing with the people you already know and love. I'm not gonna get into all of that right now, but what I will say is it can be a little bit tricky to figure out which of those people might want to play D&D. How do I find those people who would like to play D&D? Maybe you've never talked to them about these sorts of games, but let me tell you, there are so many people who, when they start playing the game, realize, oh, this is what I've been missing this whole time. And there's no better feeling than bringing somebody into the hobby that you love as well. So you might be wondering, how do I find these people? And here is my suggestion. Think about the nerdy or artistic passions that those people might enjoy. So whether it be a huge action movie buff, or somebody who falls in love with the epic TV shows, anime, those people who dive deep into video games. How about let's go artistic? I mean, artists, people who love to draw, paint, or other sorts of expressing their artistic vision. I'm thinking about those people who are into improv or LARPing, those folks that curl up with a good book every single night. And lastly, I'm talking about those people close to you who love you for your passions and are open to trying something new. I guarantee you'll be able to pull those folks into their first D&D game with you. All right, enough talking about that. Let's do a quick summary here. Pros, you get to play with the people you know already, and that makes the game so much more enjoyable. Second, I've experienced that it's great to play with people you know because oftentimes scheduling a game can be a lot easier. There's also a great chance that there's going to be a game style that you all would enjoy. And lastly, discussing your boundaries can be a lot easier with people that you already know. Some of the cons may be that the learning curve might be a little bit steeper given that maybe these people haven't played the game before. Also, you're gonna have to figure out who's gonna DM. Oftentimes that might be you. So if you're not comfortable with DMing, maybe this might not be the best option. Okay, I think that basically covers it. I hope something really vibed with you. But before I go, I want to give you my top tip to start playing D&D. The best way, in my opinion, to start playing D&D is to find somebody who already does play. Whether it be a acquaintance or somebody at your work, or maybe somebody that you already know in the online space, finding someone who already plays D&D is just your perfect in, because these people already love the game, already know how to play it, likely already have their own games. In my experience, people who already play D&D want to bring more people into the hobby. So find those people in your life and asking to see what opportunities they might have for you to start playing. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you found this helpful. I'm really curious after watching this video if there's any options that seem to stick out to you. What options are you gonna try? And if you've already tried some of these ways to play D&D, what seemed to work best in your experience? And how are you continuing to play D&D as you grow in this hobby? My name is Brandon, and let's play D&D sometime.